Hello. I thought I'd do an update. I've got a trauma-based CBT appointment in about half an hour. However, on Monday night, I went to a group called Andy's Man Club, which admittedly does sound a little bit homosexual, but it's not. It's a like an informal kind of thing, really. It's for men, and it's men with like mental health issues, or I don't know, not so much like learning problems, but I guess there's some people there with autism or ADHD. You have some blokes there who are just kind of lonely or older and lonely, or I don't know, they don't fit in with their normal group, neighbours, peer group, I suppose. I don't really know. I went there about, well, in fact, I know exactly when it was. The last time I went was February 2023. Yep, 2023. It's now 2025. October the 1st, in fact, 2025. Back then, I think I went there about 4 or 5 times. I enjoyed each time I was there. I was happy with myself after I left there. And I've been meaning to go back every single Monday for like the last 2.5 years. And it was a case that I would kind of look forward to it all week, and then come Monday evening, because it's every Monday, I'd talk myself out of it. And it wasn't a case that I would talk myself out of it because I couldn't be asked, but I would try and find something that I would consider more important than leaving the house and go to this Andy's Man Club. I mean, back then I didn't know about ADHD. At least I never knew that I had ADHD. And I suppose it's kind of like may have been a case that you like the idea of something in theory. I think I mentioned this in like the other week, I think, where you don't quite know what mood you're going to be in. And so at the moment, next Monday, I'm determined to go back. Really looking forward to it. Whether I still feel like that on Monday, like late Monday afternoon, I don't particularly know. But anyway, went to this Andy's Man Club. Actually intentionally stayed out of the house, and then went straight there, because I thought, if I went back home first, I'll end up talking myself out of it again, and it was the best thing I've done in quite a while. I'm gonna sneeze again. Excuse me. Bastard. Excuse me again. Yeah, it was the best thing I've done in quite some time. And if any of you have watched any lot of other stuff, I'm generally kind of like a miserable person, I think, or at least, well, yeah. So when I say it's the best thing I've done in quite some time, I do mean that. I'm definitely not one of these people who say, "Oh yeah, it's a great thing, best thing I ever did." I don't say that lightly at all. So anyway, if you're unfamiliar with Andy's Man Club, I think I've mentioned this. It's a fairly informal group. This particular group, there's about 40 people there. When you walk in, there's kind of no, I think a few of them knew my face from ages ago. I think I've got half an ear, my bald head and my beard, and my Midlands accent, where no one near me, I won't say exactly who I am, but people here don't have Midlands accents. So yeah, it's an informal group. There's about 40 blokes there, all sat round in like a massive circle to start off with, and within a few minutes, the not instructor, the facilitator, the group facilitator, like your head person, And again, these people aren't like suits and ties, kind of, they're normal blokes, many of whom have mental health problems as well. They've just been there for ages. So a bit like, you know, if you work at McDonald's, you've been there for so long, they put you in charge, kind of thing. Same thing, I guess. Although they do have to do like mini courses, I would have thought. But anyway, so the thing I'm trying to say, informal. If you've been to like NHS stuff or Mind, it's nothing like that at all. Really good. Sit down there. You have like this black medicine ball or black hard ball, and the idea being that you don't speak unless you're holding this ball. And I know that sounds like, you know, something you tell like a 5-year-old to do, but I think with that many people, and some of whom may find it hard not to just shout things out or interrupt or anything like that. So yeah, they say hello and whatnot, explain what the rules are for the Andy's Man Club. You would think the first rule for Andy's Man Club is you don't talk about Andy's Man Club. It's not like that. It's you don't talk about basically like the stuff that would be considered impolite. So that's sexuality, religion, you know, if you hate Keir Starmer or you like Boris Johnson or Farage or whatever, you don't talk about any of that stuff. Don't talk about any medication or treatment either. And I think that's largely to protect the group. So, for example, this trauma-based CBT that I'm doing at the moment, which I feel is shite, might work for someone else. And if I'm there on a Monday night just having a rant, like basically what I'm doing now, saying, oh, fuck it, I shouldn't swear, well, there's no point to it at all. If I say that there, and there's a potential that I could put off someone who trauma-based CBT would really help, and as a result of me opening my big fat mouth saying how awful trauma-based CBT is and it's pointless, that person might lose their life, or they might, you know, I know it's a kind of like an extreme thing, but let's say if someone else has the same condition as what I've got, they've tried everything else and they've yet to try trauma-based CBT. If I don't think I need to explain this too much, but if I then say, oh, trauma-based CBT is shite, they might think, oh, okay, right, that's it then, there's no hope for me, and they might jump off a bridge or something. So anyway, yeah, you don't talk about medication or treatment, but that's it. You can pretty much talk whatever you want, whatever you can say whatever else like you want. It's not as awkward as what you might think. So it's not like, oh, Sam, speak for 5 minutes about something. It's not like that. So the first 5 minutes, I'm all over the place at the moment. The first 5 minutes, bloke says what the rules are. Yeah, everyone understands that. Oh, sorry, when you first walk in, you're offered like a tea or water or whatever. Sit down, bloke says whatever the group rules are, which I've just explained. There's not many of them, they're kind of fairly obvious. He then says, hello, my name's Andy, or John or something. I'm one of the group facilitators here. I've been coming for 3 years. Then he hands the ball to his left or right hand side. That bloke says, oh, hi, I'm Martin, this is my first time here. Oh, well done, Martin, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or he passes the ball, hi, I'm Aswad, I don't know why I said that. It's my first time here, or I've been coming a few weeks, whatever. So the ball goes all the way around. You don't have to talk for long. It's literally, hi, my name's Sam, I came here back in 2023, I've been meaning to come back since. Here I am, well done, Sam, I'll pass the ball over. Arguably I wasn't as fluent then as what I am now. I was like, you know, all that kind of stuff, because of a lot of stammer. So yeah, once you've done that, they then break down into 3 groups. So I think on Monday night there's about 12 or 14 blokes went to one room. 12 14 stayed where they were, and myself and another 12 or 13 people moved to another room, sit down in like a circle. Each group has a group facilitator. I'm just keeping on the time, not 10 past 3. Each group has a group facilitator. Again, they're the same as you, they just wear a black t-shirt. There's no kind of misters or sirs or anything here, or formalities like that. The 5 questions I think they ask each week in these like mini groups, I think they're picked out of a hat nationwide. So I think every group each week is asked like the same thing, and it could be anything. It's usually something like, have you got anything to get off your chest this week, or how's your week been? And you usually find, this is one of the things that I kind of spot, is the first 1 or 2 people say, oh yeah, my week's been great, you know, they pass the ball over. And then the first person who then moans about something, and you kind of, that's why you're there, you know, you've had a shit week because you've got mental health problems, or you haven't paid the rent, or your dog's died or something like that. It can be anything, and there's no one kind of laughs about it or jokes or says, oh fucking just pull yourself together Sam, you know, get a grip, you're 43. There's none of that. But once someone said something, you know, they've had a bad week, you then genuinely find other people then start saying, oh, actually yeah John, you're right, you know, I've been having like a really bad time as well. Oh shit, Mark, sorry to hear that, mate. But the rules are supposed to be, you only talk when you're holding this ball, which gives you some, makes it a little easier, because you know that you can get your words out, no one's going to interrupt you, and that generally works, to be honest. So like I said, you can talk within reason for as long as you want. Could be, you know, 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. The group facilitator may have to, I mean, if you're rambling on like what I do, they may have to say, oh, you know, Sam, can we come back to you, or we can talk after, you know, if you want, because obviously there's only a finite amount of time and we all need to get around everyone, kind of thing. So you do that, then the ball goes back to the facilitator. He looks at his phone where he's been emailed what questions to ask, and it can be like, I know, what foods you hate. And I know that this sounds like bullshit, right? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, you know, I've got PTSD, Sam. I don't need to know. I don't need to be asked, you know, whether I like fucking burgers or chips. It's smart how it's done, and you feel, although they're complete strangers there, many of whom are complete strangers and whatnot, just that it's kind of like icebreaking, I suppose. But you soon find out, as I did on Monday night, it's quite easy if you've got ADHD or PTSD or depression or whatever your ailment. It's very, very easy. I need to have a drink. It's very, very easy to think you're the only person on the planet that has that problem, or you think you're the only person. Like with ADHD, for example, often I hate myself and I'm angry. Why can't I just be like, why can't my mind work like a normal person? Why can't I just hold down one job without getting bored of it and then do something else? Or why can't I just like one genre of music without keep changing it? Why do I have to keep playing the same song over and over and over again until I can't listen to it anymore because I'm bored of it, and then move on to something else? All those little things, it's very easy to think, particularly if you're left alone with your thoughts for, you know, some time. It's very easy to think that you're so messed up, no one else can understand you. And it's particularly easy to feel like that with what I'm about to attend, is this trauma-based CBT for someone who hasn't got mental health conditions, they've not got PTSD. Their understanding of it is what they've learnt at university or looked at in a book. Now, I know that's kind of a fairly unfair and unreasonable expectation for the person treating you to have. Obviously, you can't expect everyone to have PTSD and then want to help others. But I was there Monday night, and I had a mini rant about. I think the question was, what hobbies or interests have you got? And you've had a few people there say, "Oh, I've got a motorbike. I like getting out on my motorbike." And it came around to me. I said, well, I've got loads. I said they change every single bloody week, and I say I get really excited about something and learn everything I can possibly find on it, buy all the equipment, buy all the kit, and then I just can't be arsed. I just move on to something else because I'm bored. There's nothing left for me to do with that hobby anymore. I've exhausted it within a week or 2 weeks. And I went on a rant about bloody snakes and spiders that I've had, explaining that I had absolutely zero interest in either for the first 42 years of my life. Then one evening, as I was just watching endless things on the internet, and saw something about snakes or spiders. So, that looks pretty interesting, and went a deep dive into that and learning everything. And I then convinced myself, this is a hobby I've been after. Just think what we can do. We can have all these exotic animals. It'd be great. You can breed them, and learning all about how to breed certain morphs of snakes, and bloody hell. So I went on a long rant about that, and one bloke started to laugh uncontrollably, not in a mental way, he wasn't unhinged, and he said, "Fuck mate," he says, "I thought I was the only person who did that, and it transpires he's got ADHD. He didn't mention it because he thought he was the only one, but to hear me and my no filter on a rant saying all the things that I do, he's like, oh my god, I do exactly the same thing. I've never met anyone like you. This is mental." And then it transpired another person in the room it was his first night. He's also got ADHD, and he was thinking the same thing. He thought there's going to be people there with anxiety and depression, or just lonely, whatever. No one's going to understand him. Only he's got I know we don't think we're the only people with ADHD, but it feels like it sometimes. So in that small group of people, again, probably about 13 or 14 of us in that small room, me and two of the blokes at least had ADHD, and we couldn't stop talking about it then. Sorry, I should really say, so the group starts at 7 o'clock and it ends at 9 o'clock. After about an hour, you have a 15-minute, interlude to go for a piss or have a smoke or whatever. And again, I didn't know these guys from Adam. Likewise, they had no idea who I was, and we were talking about it in a real upbeat, jokey way, as in the whole burden of having ADHD just fucking went. And we're talking about every aspect of ADHD, and we find each other funny. Oh my god, you do that as well? Yeah, I've been doing this. Have you tried doing that? And it was awesome. So then you go back to your so once you've had a vape break, or you've gone to the toilet or whatever, after about 15-20 minutes, you then go in again, same kind of situation, sit in a circle, get a ball, facilitator asks something else. I'm trying to think of something. How's things been for you at work? And every bloke goes around and says, oh yeah, there's this guy at my work, he's a right dickhead, and has a rant about that. And some people, you're supposed to put up your hand, if you've got something to ask or a suggestion to make. So you might have someone there who's faced a similar issue in the past. There's some blokes there, so someone may have faced a similar issue in the past, and they can offer some advice or some support, or just a few words. Some blokes there's a bloke there who's he has been married for 35 years, and that's gone down the pan, and he's really, really upset about that. So the good thing I felt, or I picked up on, is there is no macho stuff there at all. There's some real fucking big blokes there as well, You know, lots of ex-Royal Navy and ex-Merchant Navy, which gives you an idea of where I live. Ex-Army people there who got tearful, were moaning about stuff, sounded to the outside world may come across as a bit soft, or, you know, pull yourself together kind of thing, and no one gives a fuck. And when I say that, I don't just mean people don't give a fuck because they're told not to give a fuck, or they're trying to be nice, and there's no kind of virtue signalling there. There's no, oh, yeah, that's really hard for you, Dave. None of that. People, the blokes there, accept it and completely understand, because they're there for the same reason as a person moaning. There's honestly, there's no kind of just keeping on the time because I'm rambling here. 20 past. Yeah, there's no you're not laughed at. People don't say, oh, you know, just sort yourself out, it's not even a problem, kind of thing. Everyone's well supportive. So if you're thinking about this, if you're thinking about Andy's Man Club, if you're thinking about it, just fucking go. Just search the internet. They're absolutely everywhere. And this isn't, I mean, not that they can sponsor anyway. I am in no way affiliated to Andy's Man Club. I'm not a facilitator. I'm not like an instructor. I don't have shares in the organisation. I don't try and sell the t-shirts or anything like that. Oh, you don't have to buy anything, by the way. I've got no financial interest in Andy's Man Club whatsoever. And you're talking to someone who's been back once, which was like the other night, and prior to that it was about 2.5 years ago. But the way I'm going to view this now, I'm going to try and sum things up now, because I'm almost out of time and I don't even know what I've been talking about. But it's quite easy for me to, whilst I'm speaking highly of Andy's Man Club now, I know it's inevitable that at some point I'm going to say, oh, fuck, it's no point, you know, I don't need to go there and hold a bloody ball and just pass it around. That's not helping me at all. I'm going to think that, and there might be some truth in that as well. I might convince myself and give me evidence of why it's not helping me, which will be false. But I'll be saying things like, well, okay, Sam, you've still got PTSD, you've still got ADHD, and his Man Club's doing fuck all for you. I might think that. But the way I'm going to try and see it now, and incidentally, one of the other blokes with ADHD, we finished at 9 o'clock. We were in the car park talking for 2 hours in the pitch black as well. For 2 hours, we were both hyper as fuck. I was just firing off lots of things. He was doing the same. To like an observer, we were like full pout ADHD, going from subject to subject and comparing stories, kind of thing. But the way I'm going to look at this is, I feel I helped at least 2 blokes that night, either to open up or for them to realise they're not on their own. And that's the way I'm going to look at things, particularly with Andy's Man Club, is I'm not in it for me, and this isn't a virtue signalling thing whatsoever at all. But I'm going to see this now as I go to Andy's Man Club to be like an ear and a half for someone else, not me. And if I do that, I'll hopefully then see it as a purpose. I've got a purpose. My purpose is to attend Andy's Man Club on a Monday, for other people to talk to me, and hopefully that's my plan anyway. So this is 25 minutes of me rambling. I can summarise this in a couple of sentences, probably only one sentence. If you're a man, as long as you're over 18, it doesn't matter if you're straight or gay or single or married or, you know, got your face smashed in, or you're autistic or just depressed, you don't even need a medical or psychological condition at all. They don't ask you. You can just go there just for a fucking laugh if you want, or you just feel a bit lonely, or just want to meet some new mates or make mates or whatever. It honestly, there's no criteria whatsoever. As long as you're over 18 and you don't act like a fucking arsehole, you're absolutely fine. People will approach you, speak to you, they'll say, "Oh, Sam, how's it going, mate?" All this kind of thing. Yeah. So if you're a bloke, you're over 18, and for some reason you've been listening to me for like the last 25 minutes, which is probably unlikely, but the take-home message here is just go. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. Just go. So it's so try and get there for about 6:45. You know, so you can just wait outside and talk to a lot of the blokes. Have a vape or a drink or whatever. It starts at 1900 and it ends at 9. Just go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go now because my appointment's in about 3 or 4 minutes. All right. Take care.